Sorry, one moment. Yes? Good afternoon. Yes, Mr. Shakespeare, yes. Good evening, good evening. How are you? Yes, fine. Yes, our guests are here. Yes, and they're going to perform. Yes, you're wonderful. Yes, thank you so much, and see you soon. I hope you enjoy. Okay, bye-bye. So, I have to say hello. Many greetings from Mr. William Shakespeare.
Not so soon.
Is, as you know, we celebrate also recently, thanks to the board of Royal Opera House Muscat, because approved an idea of Dr. Nasser Al-Tai to make this exhibition around Shakespeare, that we are going to celebrate the 400th anniversary of his death. And all opera houses in the world are doing this, and we are really proud to do something also for this wonderful artist, that without him we couldn't have this wonderful opera that is Romeo and Juliet, and by Charles Gounod, the French composer. And this opera, as you know, will be performed in 3 evenings. The first in September 29, next Thursday, Friday 30th, and October 1st, the last performance. We are selling tickets, so if you want to do the tickets, you go now to buy the tickets if you want. And just thank you so much. Now stop joking. I wish, yes, I wish to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure that I can welcome all of you for this first session of Coffee and Dates with your favorite artists. I am Umberto Fanni, the Director General of Royal Opera House Muscat, and together with Dr. Nasser Al-Tai, the Director of Rome's Library and Advisor to the Board, and Mr. Michel El Gemayel, our Marketing Director, we are so pleased to be with you this night, to have a chance to introduce our guest, the Georgian soprano Nino Machaidze, and the French tenor Jean-François Borras, who will share their experiences and stories in addition to the main roles that they will be singing in Charles Gounod's Romeo and Juliet, performed by Opera de Monte Carlo, which will be presented, as I told before, opening season on next Thursday. So we can start our chat with our artist, and I inform you that at the end of this brief chat, you can also make questions to our artist. So welcome, thank you so much, Nino, thank you so much, Jean-François, to be here. I know that it's difficult because you have to rest. The job of to sing is not like it's not a joke. It's really difficult. We go to the theater, we see people singing, and say, okay, but what's it like to eat spaghetti? No, it's not like that. It's very difficult for the singers, because they use a very sensitive the throat and the breath, and I thought many years ago it's the breath of the soul, and this is very difficult. That's because a lot of artists, and many part of them are really delicate people. So even if it's strong, big like me, it's not so true. It's sometimes people are really very delicate. But I wish to start these questions with Nino. Yes. Yes. Michel told me that just a brief video just to show you what is their job and their please.
This is your
Thank you, Diego. And this was too brief. Thank you, many compliments. Nino Machaidze from Salzburg Festival, I think yes. And Jean-François from Metropolitan Opera in New York. They are young, but they're very great stars. So, Nino.
Yes.
How's the weather?
Good. Warm.
It's very cold outside. No?
It's warm.
It's warm.
It
yes,
is warm.
Really
It's warm.
But it's difficult to sing with these temperatures.
No. Okay.
You see, the singers are very, very, very nice because they enter in the theater with the coat, everything. They cover. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Exactly.
So seriously, you started your career very early.
Yeah.
And you were very young. You are still young.
Thank you.
And how did it feel? How did you cope with the competitive atmosphere of the opera world?
Yeah, I start singing when I was just 8, so many years ago, and I start already singing opera. I never been like pop singer or in choir or something. I just start directly to be soloist, and my first aria I remember was the Oscar's aria from Ballo in Maschera, so really difficult, and I was just 8. And then
8 years old.
8 years old, because in Georgia, in my country, it is possible to start learning singing.
Yes.
At that age, that I think it's really good. And then at 16, I became the solist of our opera house in Tbilisi, in Georgia, big opera house. So it's many years that I'm doing this job. It's my life, and it's something that I always dreamed. I always wanted to become opera singer, to sing in all these wonderful, amazing opera houses, to sing in La Scala and Metropolitan and everywhere. So it's like dreams come true, and I'm just happy. What I can say is this world, as you said, it's really serious job. It's difficult job. You have to be really serious. Discipline, it's really important, and to make some really straight style of life.
Sure.
And
you have not to smoke, I think so.
No, you don't have to smoke. And
but you
a lot
know
of
that
people
you know
do
perfectly that there are a lot of, especially the tenors.
No, baritones
I
and
don't
basses.
smoke. And after you see in the room,
exactly.
No,
So yeah, it's difficult job, but it's amazing. It's wonderful job, and what I have to say, I'm just glad and happy, and I feel lucky.
And so in Georgia, there is a very good school of singers.
I think yes, because if we see, we are just 3 million people, so really little country, but a lot of amazing singers are in all the world, America and in Europe, and a lot of amazing sopranos, mezzo-sopranos, and tenors or basses, and everywhere. And not just the opera singers, but musicians like pianists and violinists, and it's
very
because in our country it's really big tradition of music. In quite every family, there the parents trying to give the musical education to the kids, and so we are growing up with a lot of music.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
You know that Georgia, Mr. Sud maybe can correct me, Georgia is one of the most beloved countries from the Romani people. I know that a lot of them goes to holidays, and they enjoy a lot this country. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jean-François,
yes.
So can you tell us a bit about your trajectory in becoming an opera singer? How did it come about?
I start to sing very young too, but I was at 7 years old. I was little singers for 15 years, but after I don't go directly for the opera. I was in the we make with my colleagues of Little Singers was adult, but we have a little group, a cappella group, and we said, okay, we need to not teach, but to work the voices. And we go in the conservatory in Monte Carlo, and they said, okay, we want to come here. You say, it's not pop or it's lyric music. I said, okay, no problem. We need only to work on the voice, and only at this moment. I see to start to work opera, and my first opera I work all it was Elisir d'Amore.
Elisir d'Amore.
Elisir d'Amore, yes, Nemorino. But it was my first opera I work on in the conservatory, and I performed only one time in conservatory. I never sang this role. Until now, I never sang this role. No.
Wow.
You know that Nemorino is the role of Elisir d'Amore, that's una
romantic.
fortiva lacrima, and that's one of the most beautiful and most famous arias in the opera.
Yeah.
Most romantic character.
Most
Yes.
romantic, yes.
Definitely.
And funny.
I didn't know that. Because the first time I met Jean-François, it was in Trieste, in
yes.
Italy. He came to me, I was artistic director at that opera house, and he came with me with a repertoire, with the French repertoire, and especially with this Werther. And
Yes.
if you remember, I told you,
Totally.
you'll become one of the best interpreters of Werther, and currently.
And you offer me my first Romeo in Trieste.
Exactly. That's right. Yes, that's right. And thank you so much. I think that.
Nino, so you travel a lot, I'm sure, and this is usually a challenge for artists because transportation is always key. So you performed in most of the theaters around the world. Recently, Los Angeles. Do you have a preferred city?
Yeah, the favorite city or opera house?
City.
City.
Both. No, both.
Both. Okay. No,
That's how opera
of
house
course.
That's true. I want to see it.
Yeah. So, as a city, I think, the Barcelona. I'm completely in love with Barcelona. I don't know. And Liceo is amazing. And I love Milano because I'm living there. And I love the Opera House of Los Angeles. It's like, I don't know, since 2009, every year I'm singing there, as in many other opera houses, but I don't know what happened with that opera house, but it's like became my house, my home opera house. And it's always some special feelings when I'm singing there, and it's the same from the audience. I feel this. It's something special.
Los Angeles. Yes.
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, for your information, is the opera house that has like artistic director, the great tenor Placido Domingo, who will become here in 11 January next year for a performance. Thank you so much. This is my dear Jean-François. No, but sorry, Dr. Nasser. Do you want to ask to Jean-François or Nino something about whatever you want, Romeo and Juliet?
I think it's important for our audience, because we have a young audience, to know about your category, the voice category. We
Yes,
always
of
say soprano and tenor, bass, and altos, but within each category of voice, there are also many branches
Yes,
and
different.
and
Of
divisions,
course.
the dramatic,
Totally.
the soprano, the
Yes.
chorus. So can you tell us
Yeah.
about your voice specifically,
Yes.
and what roles do you think suits your voice?
Yeah, this is really interesting question. Yeah, so we know that It exists. The women's voices are soprano and mezzo-soprano most, and also contraltos, but most, operas are made for sopranos and mezzo-sopranos. But inside, he will say for main voices, of course. But the soprano, it doesn't mean that one soprano can sing everything. So there is also the registers of the voice. And I always been lyrical soprano coloratura, so it means that I was going really high and really, really high notes. And in conservatory, when I was 16, 17, 18, I was singing also Queen of the Night, so it's the most coloratura repertoire. And then for almost 8 years since La Scala, and also in Georgia, since I made the debut, I was singing Gilda, Rigoletto, Elisir d'Amore, Don Pasquale, and Lucia di Lammermoor, all the bel canto repertoire. Yes. That is for the highest soprano voice, yes, and really light voice. Then, and I sang this repertoire like 8 years, really enjoying. Then I became a mother, and I saw how my soprano voice changed. It became bigger, especially the central register of soprano of my voice became really bigger and with a lot of volume. And so now my soprano is not anymore so lyrical and coloratura, so I can't sing anymore Queen of the Night. Sure. Maybe I can, but not in a performance, maybe in some concert, but it's not something that today I will enjoy to sing. Because now today my voice is lower, so I became lyrical soprano with the high notes, and so I add a lot of new parts that it's good for lyrical soprano, and so we see these differences. And then also is dramatic soprano. So soprano, it means yes, 3 categories. So coloratura, lyrical, and dramatic. Sometimes people start from coloratura and at 45, 50 they became dramatic. Nobody knows how your voice will grow up and develop. So now I consider myself a lyrical soprano with high notes, and I feel really comfortable in these
roles.
Repertoire.
Especially, yes, in this repertoire, as Romeo and Juliet, as in Traviata, there are so different way to sing, you know. The difference yes, between the aria Je veux vivre and the poison aria.
Exactly, it's completely
different voices.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes.
The same thing for the tenor.
For the tenor, exactly.
The first aria and the hand, the tomb, it's
also with the choir,
very more heavy.
Yes,
yeah,
and
exactly.
When I performed in Trieste,
yes,
it was for me easier to sing the first aria,
yes,
and I need to control for the second to not go and push the voice,
yes,
because if you push yes, the voice at this moment, it's possible to not finished
yes,
not finished the
exactly,
opera.
yes,
and now for me the first aria it's okay, but it's more easy for yes, me to sing the second aria.
But one question that came to me in my mind now, what's about those kind of opera title that are really, really dangerous for the voice? I know that I heard that for a soprano who's going to sing, for example, Madama Butterfly, you cannot come back from Madama Butterfly to different, and even maybe for tenor there is something similar, or
yeah. So it depends. As I think, every part can be dangerous if it's not good for your vocal cords.
Yeah.
So it's best long time you want to sing, more carefully you have to be and more patient, because maybe today I would like to sing Butterfly, but I know that it's too soon, it's not great for me, it can be dangerous. So every part can be dangerous if it's not good for your vocal cords. And also it depends in which age you are, because you have to go really slowly and be really careful, because you can sing some of the parts in really early age. For Traviata, for example, that it's huge role and it needs, as Maestro Fanny said, it needs a lot of different registers. So it starts in different way and finished in a different way.
Yes.
So you have to be complete soprano to have a possibility to give and sing great Traviata as Luisa Miller, and there is a lot of parts like that. And I was waiting like 5 years to sing Traviata. I had offers and I was refusing because I was saying, no, I'm sorry, it's too soon, it's too soon. And at 30, I said, now is the time. So,
and you did it in Arena di Verona
and I
this
did this
past summer.
in
Yes, I
Arena,
know.
and, yeah.
And for you, Jean-François, for the tenor, what?
Yes, but alors, I think it's every time it's possible to, we have limits, but it's less dangerous to sing something light.
Yes.
But it's dangerous if you go with a repertory more heavy. Because it's more dangerous if the repertory is more heavy, what you can sing. You know, it's I don't know. I start to sing. I was not very young, but because I don't know, I'm 30 years old, and when I start, they ask me to sing Don José because the.
But I think that you're
yes,
you could
they ask me, yes, you are French and you are young, and we want a young Don José.
Yeah.
But I don't know many tenors.
Yes.
With the good voice with Don José at 30 years old. It's too
early.
It's too early.
Yes.
And now I am 41 and I just start the part.
That's
and
good.
I think
This is a very
great
clever
for me.
way to manage your instrument, because, as I told before, it's very delicate and
Go slowly
it
and
needs
go far.
Go slowly
Yeah,
and go far.
totally.
Yeah. There are a lot of tenors, especially tenors, because we have to say that for a man, the man it's not natural to sing in their register. It's more suitable for a woman, but not for a man. Yeah. And that's because a lot of tenors they want to sing a lot and they want to do the big roles, calaf, whatever you want, and they stop their career very soon.
Very soon.
And
yes.
there are clever tenors that they manage their voice, their repertoire, and to have a long career because they live with this career, obviously.
Of course.
There is
Please.
also the dramatic progression within Romeo and Juliet. That's, I think, is also very important.
Yeah.
You sing that beautiful waltz about how much you love life and joy, and that you want to enjoy life.
Yeah.
And then you end up in the tomb scene dying.
course.
And so the same
Yes.
for you,
Yes.
I think, within
Yes.
the dramatic
But
development.
it's why
so,
yes.
yeah, but you need to also control yourself in that song so that you are
yes.
not too.
Absolutely.
Because if you give everything, then you have nothing for the
Absolutely,
the last
of course.
duet. So
So
can you
this-
tell us about
this is
your
something
approach
that-
to this
yeah.
from the beginning to end?
Yeah,
From the
this-
bright to the dark? and
Exactly. This is when the composers are a genius, like
Yeah,
Gounod
yeah.
and like also Verdi. Most of operas start in a bright way and finish in a dark way, because the opposite would be impossible.
Yes.
The most of operas are made like this, that the first arias are lighter, no? Jean-François,
Yes.
you will agree? Are lighter, are more coloratura, more light singing,
Yes.
also characterly. And then, in the end, it became drama. And so, of course, we have to control ourselves with the drama, because especially if you are a singer, emotional singer, you know, not just some, there is also some other singers that they just stay and they sing. They don't have really lot of emotions. So of course for them it's easier because they just, you know, they just sing. Okay, it's okay. So maybe they will not touch your heart, but definitely it's not dangerous. For the singers that emotionally goes in a part, emotionally goes with the words and with the music and just follow with the whole body music, it can be dangerous. You can get a little tired. And of course, we always have to control ourselves because if sometimes, especially in these operas that doesn't have happy end, also like Traviata and almost most of them.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know
Totally.
how many times I
Totally.
died.
Yeah,
and,
yes.
yeah, we
That's
die
okay. You know,
every evening. So
For the
it's-
story, we need
we used to already.
interesting story.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
they don't know happens in the opera,
Yes.
it's difficult to have a good story.
But
Yeah.
that's,
Hello, we
So,
need
yeah,
dead and
absolutely. We-
loves and
We have to,
Like then wars or things.
we
yes.
have to control ourselves really very much, not go.
and the tone of the color also changes, and your psychological
Of course.
growth
yes, totally.
throughout the drama.
Because you feel the music, you feel
Yes.
the words, and everything changes also automatically. You don't have to do something more. It's just you follow the music, and if you are when you are completely in, yeah,
Yes.
it can be
Yes.
dangerous.
Yeah.
So, Michel,
And talking about the subject, Nino, please tell us, I mean, what is the most important thing for a singer? Is it the singing? Is it the musicianship or the presentation? Like, what is the most important factor there?
Yeah, there is not just on one thing, because especially today opera goes in a way that it's not enough to have just beautiful voice, or it's not enough to have great technique. Today, to sing in the most important opera houses and to be the singer that everybody loves and knows, you have to be complete artist. So it means that you have to sing, you have to be
actor.
strong,
Yeah.
you have to act, you have to do most difficult things in the stage, like singing like this, or singing like this, or
in the
running
air, yes.
right before singing, or I don't know, the most difficult things that opera singer can do and sing in a temporary. And touch the hearts of the audience. And so everything this makes a real artist today. And so there is not one thing. Unfortunately, it's not enough anymore.
And maybe
because-
Instagram, maybe some social media.
You know, social media,
Yeah,
it's because it's also important. In today's life, it's really important because once audience knows you, they want to follow you. It's instinct today. Also, the babies are made like that already. They have in DNA this, you know, and it's something incredible. But today, the world is like that. If you are public person, you know, that somebody knows you already and somebody loves you, the instinct is, oh, I go to follow my favorite artist, and they enjoy seeing us, our pictures or our live pictures, or just to know where are you singing in that moment, because they will come. I have a lot of times I found the people coming from all the world. They are there, and I see them in Hamburg, and I see them in Barcelona, in Milano, in Los Angeles. I say, hi! And I don't know them, but I know them because they follow me. So it's nice. So of course, social media, yes, but the real artist is made by the voice and heart.
Yeah. Jean-François, two questions in one. It's more, to work in this field, sometimes you meet people and you have to do with the conductors and the stage directors of the opera. Sometimes it's quite difficult, the relationship. It's not every time easy to go on with a production and to have a good mood to the production. Sometimes it happens. It happened to in your career something.
Yes.
Something very. I would say, oh no, I go away. I don't sing.
No, but yes.
No,
yes. I have.
Without names, obviously.
No names. But yes,
We don't
one
have
time with
name.
one conductor, and now in his work, if you see, I don't know, in the 20 or 30 years ago,
Yeah.
the work was not totally, but different.
Yes.
And now is the regisseur our power.
Yes,
And
exactly.
more
Directors.
stage directors are power.
Yes.
And it's like Nino said, it's not
Just singing
it's
anymore.
it's not singing, and it's difficult because they ask
Really strange
Yes,
things.
strange
incredible
things,
things.
and not all the stage directors, but
Most of
a big
Yes.
part, don't know the difficulty to sing.
Yeah.
And they think about something,
Something
a story in her head,
dramaturgy.
and say, why you don't do this on this? I said, okay, but if you want, and I need to sing the aria, and you need, you ask me to sing all the time back of the public. It's not me, but it's scientific. If I sang for the back, the public can help me.
Yes.
It's not
It's
my
completely-
fault.
yes,
Yes,
no,
it's
it's not
not
your
my fault.
fault.
But a lot of stage directors don't think about that.
But I think, Jean-François, I think because before they are not musicians. They don't follow the score. And it's like sometimes if you see some opera houses in the world are managed by the engineer.
Yeah.
I think
yes.
that every one of us needs to do his own job
Yes.
and to
Agree.
do what is prepared to do.
Agree.
It.
Totally agree.
I totally
And,
agree. But
unfortunately, it's not so
it's
easy.
Not only yes, there is this, but I don't know. It's like now.
This happens in Italy. A lot of not here.
Now the big difference now, because the world is like that. Before there were singers, they do some positions, but there is not a big staging for the singers. But now it's the same thing for the theatre and opera. The public wants to come and see like a movie.
Yeah.
And the singers need to be
Realistic.
in the staging, because all the world is like that. We every day you see movie publicity and TV, and we are in this world.
All the
And-
broadcasters,
yes.
no? The
Yes.
broadcasters.
The time is yes.
Yes, it's. I don't think it's not something bad.
But Jean-François, you have to stay a lot here in Oman, because you have to consider one thing, that the most important thing is to manage your time. Here, here it's possible to manage your time. It's not the time that manage you.
Yeah.
But this is maybe the air. I don't know what's happened here in Oman. Strange magic, but It's completely different. And this is the mood of our life. It changed completely.
But
also.
we
And
see,
everything,
you
yes.
see today when we go to see the big mosque,
Yes.
and only when you see this wonderful, amazing place,
Amazing place.
you see and you say, wow,
Wow.
we see something special.
Yes.
And when we see all the details, you said it's amazing to have artisanal.
Yes.
That's not, you know, we travel in all the place in the world. That if you go in Paris, in New York,
In Milan.
München, Milan, now we have something special, but you know the city is all the same.
Yes.
You can find a McDonald's, you can find H&M.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Yes.
It's now in Europe it's very hard to find something special in the special area.
Yes.
It's all world. The
Because
same
maybe,
thing.
you know, Jean-François, because we are going out from the opera, but this I find he told very important words, because every time I say to my friends when I go back home this evening and during the evening, and I hear and in the sunset, and there is the muezzin singing, but this happened with the wonderful sunset and the nature with a lot of birds singing. And this is a very special moment that reminds me that the nature, the love, the affects we lost. We are losing these values, and this is very important. We have to go back to go forward, straight forward in the future. If not, it will be not it's not a good.
I want to comment about these modern productions because sometimes it is important to have these relevant production to make things closer to the audience and closer to our times. But some artistic directors, they just go overboard with this idea.
And
I was
some
watching.
operas are good for modern production. And
Yes.
some operas
Some
absolutely
don't
not.
work at all. I mean, I was
At
watching.
all.
I was watching a great production. Of singers,
Yes.
Wagner's Lohengrin, to prepare for our second opera that's for the season,
Yes.
and it's completely done between the fight between two clans of mice.
Yes.
I mean, all you see is rats. Rats. So imagine you're trying to sing this most profound,
Exactly.
profound music by Wagner about, the Holy
Yes.
Grail, transcendence, and all this beauty of the words. And then you are dressed as a rat.
Absolutely.
It just, you look complete. There is this kind of discrepancy
Yeah,
between
yeah,
the
yeah.
music.
Yeah.
And it must be very difficult for
Absolutely.
the
Yeah,
singers
very
difficult.
to be able to do
I
this.
sang my first Alfredo in Traviata in Germany, Mannheim. I was like Ronald McDonald. I have the photo. I am with the red hair like that, all with the costume white and red, and all the face was makeup in the white makeup.
It was
Yes,
And
there is
I
also
walk
Rigoletto.
like that for all the
Rigoletto is a
the
rabbit.
opera.
Yes.
Like a
It
zombie.
was,
It sounds
it,
like a
it was
zombie, yes.
for me. It was 8 weeks of nightmare.
So,
And after that, I said I don't want to sing Alfredo, but I find another staging, great staging, and I perform after that. But it was a nightmare for me.
Yeah.
now let's talk also about the dynamics between the two, Romeo and Juliet, because this is a very special opera, musically, because it's one of the only, maybe very rare operas that has 4 love duets. I mean, in most operas you have 2. The one when they first fall in love, and then when the second one is when they're dying. So, but this one you have 4 love duets.
They are thinking to do other things.
So it's very important that you also develop this relationship. I mean, within the opera. How are you going to go about it?
Yeah, we start. It's two young people, and I think they think they loved before, but at the first moment they see each other, they find the real love, and it's totally special and totally different for us. And there is this problem. You need a problem for the story of the opera. There is two
There
different.
always must be drama.
Yes,
always.
we are. You can have a very great story. They find us and say, okay, love, and have many children, and they love for many years in happiness. No, there is two different families,
Right.
and these families hate each other. It's why the problem of Romeo and Juliet. It's a
But
big
it's not. But about the development now, it's not so difficult because why? It's the music is made so in a wonderful way, and the story is so amazing by itself. You don't have to add something more. It's enough follow the words and the music, and everything going like this.
Natural, yes.
And pop.
Yeah.
Everything.
Exactly.
The first duetto, it's so touching. It's so delicate. And the second is more, and the third, the third is they are already more near, and the fourth is near and drama. So it's written, as I said, it's like this. You just have to just follow, and it will be developed automatically.
So, I think that our coffee and dates are waiting for us, but before closing this meeting, and thank you again for coming, maybe Michel has a very short last question or we give maybe the floor to our guests if there is someone that wish to make a question. Sorry. Yes, please, Mr.
Jean-François.
yes.
In which language do you prefer to sing when you sing opera, and why?
I don't know. It's a difficult question. No, I can't. French. I am French.
What is the answer?
I love the French repertory. I love the French repertory, and this season I perform. It's the first time for me. Lot of French repertory. I perform here Romeo and Juliet. I have two productions of Manon. Two production of Werther and one production of Faust.
Wow.
And
Everything is French.
yes, all French. I have only one Bohème,
Oh yeah.
and but all my season is on French.
And which
repertory.
part of the world it could be these operas?
I perform Manon in Staatsoper de Vienne and Monte Carlo, Werther in Metropolitan Opera and Valencia in Spain, and Faust in Staatsoper Vienna.
Yeah, that's many comments. And you, Nino, which are your next engagement and roles that you are making? Yes.
My next role it will be Desdemona in Rossini's Otello, and I'm so happy that finally I'm going in San Carlo of Napoli, because I love Italy and it's my second home, and I sang in most of the most important opera houses of Italy, and I was missing San Carlo. Exactly.
You know, San Carlo is the oldest theater.
Exactly,
Yes,
and
in
it's so
theater, yes.
gorgeous, it's amazing. So I'm really happy that finally we put this, and it will be a new production of Otello, that Rossini, that I love it. It's amazing opera.
Sorry, of the Rossini?
Yes,
Rossini?
Rossini's Otello. It's
Ah, okay.
amazing.
Yes.
It's amazing. Yes.
Yeah, one
yes.
of the-
It's not so
Exactly.
easy
And-
to listen.
No, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And then I have Il Viaggio a Reims in Copenhagen. I have Thais in Barcelona. Rigoletto in San Francisco, Le Pesci di Pere in Los Angeles, and that.
Wow, many compliments.
Thank you.
Many compliments.
Yes,
Please.
It sounds like you have a very good agent as well as being a very talented performer. Has there ever been a time when an agent wanted you to sing a role that you felt was unsuitable?
Oh yes, yes.
And do you fight for your rights?
Yeah, I do. Fortunately, I have great agent, and they never push me to do something that I don't feel to do in that moment. Yes, but the incredible things already is happening. That when some directors of the opera houses, when they heard your voice, when they heard volume of the voice, they said, you have big voice, you can sing everything. and sometimes they offering you some good, I will say, I just refused Tosca. So Tosca for me now, going from Gilda to Tosca, there is something in the middle that I would like to sing. So, yes, but sometimes yes. And for example, Anna Bolena, my agent thinks that I will be amazing Anna Bolena, but I want to wait a little bit. So we had little
Ideas,
but then
yes,
I went because I said
But
no.
he's a very good
So,
man. Yes.
in the end, I always decide the final decision. It's always made by me because I have to go on the stage. I have to sing. Voice is mine. So you can think one thing, but if I not agree, I will never do something because the opera house is really important. It's really wow. I want to go there, and I accept. No, I prefer to wait.
That's very good to know because all
Yeah.
the wanted singers
Yes.
are directed by their agent.
It's wrong.
Yeah.
It's mistake. It doesn't have to be like this because they can hear your voice, they can hear your possibilities, but you have feelings, and you are the only one to know what is good for you. And because you are singing and you know what you feel when you sing something, and you know where is your limit. So never push yourself in something that you don't feel.
And
Never.
every role you sing will build up your stamina over the years.
Absolutely.
As you grow older.
Absolutely. And some of them are like when you open the score, I feel this. Sometimes I accept, I have really huge repertoire every year. Last year, I made 9 debuts, 9 new roles. So everything I sang was new. Traviata, Luisa Miller, Viaggio a Reims, and all the Desdemona, and of course, all the huge part. And some of them, I open the score, I sing for first time, and I see, oh my God, this is written for me. But sometimes you have to work to make that part yours. And of course, but you know that it's good for you, you feel comfortable in that part, and this is the most important. And nobody have to push you because it can kill you.
Yeah, sure, that's true.
Thank you.
There are other questions, please, sir. Please, ma'am.
I wanted to ask you, what are your first impressions of Muscat City
Yeah.
and also of the Opera House?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's unbelievable. The Opera House, I start with Opera House because it's our home. So the Opera House is amazing, but I can't say something different because we all see how wonderful it is, and it's made so gorgeously. And the acoustic is so wonderful because for us it's really important to have good acoustic, because when you don't hear yourself, when the acoustic is not good, it's not comfortable, it's dry, as we say, you have instinct to push, and pushing you are getting tired, and the voice is not so soft and beautiful as normally is. So the really important thing that I really enjoy singing, and I will always come back because I love it so much. I hope you will want me. Of course, otherwise I will back to visit. And Yeah, it's really amazing that the people that made this theater was thinking also about singers and made good acoustic. And the city is wonderful. We just been in town today to visit everything. And I mean, what I have to say, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, and people are so kind.
Yeah.
Really sweet, kind, amazing people. So I'm in love with this country.
Both of you have started at young age. Were there any your parents or close family? I mean, to do with music?
In my family, nobody is musician. Nobody.
No, me too.
Nobody.
No,
But yeah.
No,
but
no.
yeah, no. But my mother and my father, my mother especially, she loved opera. She always was putting the CDs, and I was hurting, and she wanted to give me, and also my father, they wanted to give me musical education, and I started playing piano at age 6, and then, but the thing of piano was that it was not something that I really loved to do, and instead to play I was singing. The thing that I had to play, I was singing. So the teacher said to my mother, maybe this girl has to sing, so don't come here anymore. Put her in other section, okay? It's like next door. So we changed it, but nobody was musician, so I'm the first
me
one.
too. My sister liked to sing, but she sings so bad. For that, I take all of this part.
So many thanks really
Thank you.
for this first coffee and date. I wish to thank you, Nino,
Thank you.
Jean-François, Dr. Nasser, and Michelle, and you everybody. I wish to thank also someone of you inside here that suggested me to do this coffee and date, and I think that we are starting in a very good way. And obviously we invite you, will keep informed by the press, and for the next meetings we'll have. Maybe in Opera Galleria we'll not use the same place. Maybe we'll go to Opera Galleria, but we'll keep informed about this event. Our distinguished artist will be available for you if you to sign some photos. And after we take finally this coffee and dates. Thank you so much, and please come
you
Thursday.
so much.
We'll see everybody Thursday for the premiere. Thank you so much.
Thank you.